Welcome to Trick or Truth, the show where we dive into marketing horror stories so twisted they'll leave you guessing, wait, did this really happen? We asked our users to submit their wildest career moments, and we chose our favorites. Half of the stories you'll hear in this series are true, and half of them are fiendish fiction. So what do you think? Is this story true, or is it a trick? Story number 1, the live event that almost killed me. Every January, when the rest of the world is still shaking off their holiday hangovers, we are already deep in the trenches of one of our biggest programs of the year, the NRF Big Show. And let me tell you, it's not just big, it's scary. Scary because it happens right after the holidays when nobody wants to work. Scary because working with unions means you never quite know if your booth setup would actually happen in time. And of course, scary because you know you're at the mercy of a dead zone Wi-Fi. But this year, I had it all under control, planning 6 months earlier. Booth design locked. Dimensions, a trusty 10 by 30. But then came the call. 3 days before move-in, my phone rang. The booth was on a truck driving up from Texas, but a winter storm in Tennessee had other plans. There'd been an accident. The truck was totaled, and the booth totaled. For a type A planner like me, this is the kind of horror story that you can't prepare for. I had contingencies upon contingencies, but never had I dreamed my booth would be destroyed in transit. I froze in my office. My coworker said the color drained from my face. How could I tell my boss? And what was I going to put up in that cavernous 10 by 30 space? But like a Halloween plot twist, the monster under the bed isn't always so scary after all. My vendor had already leapt into action. The booth was insured. They were reprinting everything, flying it up the next day at no extra cost. Yes, there'd be a delay by a few hours, but compared to an empty floor space, this was nothing short of a miracle. In the end, the NRF Big Show delivered its usual chills and thrills. But this time, the scariest story of all had a happy ending. Eek, that sounds like my worst nightmare. So what do you think? Is this story truth or is it a trick? If you thought this story was the truth, you'd be correct. Which makes this even scarier because I know that one day it could happen to me. I feel like that is what half of marketing is just putting out fires, and kudos to this person for being able to do that. That is it for Trick or Truth episode 1. Be sure to join the Startup Marketer to get a preview at these stories and vote on whether or not you think it is a trick or a truth in the polls. And there will also be opportunities to win free merch for participating. And signing up for the Startup Marketer is free through the end of the year, so get to it. Until then, stay spooky.